And welcome to the 2025 PA Blue Ribbon Champions for Safe Kids Awards ceremony, marking the kickoff of Child Abuse Prevention Month. My name is David Payne. I am the host of All Things Considered on WITF-FM here in Harrisburg and WITF.org. It is my pleasure and a privilege for me to be here and serve as Master of Ceremonies for today's event. At this time, we'd like to direct your attention to the American flag. Ask you to please rise as able and join us as we honor America with our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? What an incredible day it is to be in Pennsylvania, gathered in our magnificent state capitol building with such remarkable child advocates, businesses and government leaders, supporters, PFSA board and staff, media friends, talented youth, and of course, our Blue Ribbon champions. I'd like to take a moment to introduce the individuals sitting to my right. PFSA President and CEO, Angela Little. Secretary Valerie Arkush, PA Department of Human Services. Deputy Secretary Laval Miller Wilson, PA Department of Human Services. Pennsylvania's Attorney General, the Honorable Dave Sunday. And at this time, I would like to welcome Lieutenant Governor Austin Davis. We are very fortunate to have the Lieutenant Governor joining us this morning.
Thank you. Well, good morning, everyone. It's an honor to be here along with Attorney General Sunday and Secretary Arkush. Thank you for being here as well. I'm not just here today as Pennsylvania's Lieutenant Governor. I'm here today as a dad. My daughter, Harper, is 18 months old now, and she's the reason I get up every morning and go to work. And I fight to create a better future, not just for her, but for all of Pennsylvania's children. I'm also proud to serve as the chairman of the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency, where we're working every day to make sure our communities are safer and to help victims of crime heal. Every child, no matter what they look like or what zip code they live in, every child in Pennsylvania deserves to grow up in a safe and healthy and vibrant community. That's why our administration is investing more in early childhood education, our K through 12 public schools, as well as after-school programs that help keep our kids safe and give them opportunities for enrichment right here in our great Commonwealth. In our last budget, I'm really proud of the fact that we created the Boost Initiative and awarded more than $11 million in grants to 46 organizations across Pennsylvania that are helping to provide after-school and summer camp programming for our young people. There was an incredible demand for this program. We received nearly 300 applicants, and many of them were worthy of funding. It's clear we need to put more resources into Boost, which is why in our new budget, the governor and I are proposing a $10 million increase for this program. This issue is personal to me. I grew up as a club kid who went to my local Boys and Girls Club every day after school. At my club in McKeesport in southwestern Pennsylvania, I got homework help, a hot meal, and more importantly, mentorship. Even as we focus on the dangers facing our children, and there are big issues that we must address, still, we can't forget all the wonderful people who are helping to keep our kids safe and inspiring them to dream big dreams every single day. That's why I'm so excited to be here today, honoring the Blue Ribbon Champions for Safe Kids. I want to thank you on behalf of the governor and our entire administration for your hard work, your dedication to Pennsylvania's most precious resource, our children. And I want you to know, you will always have a partner in this work as long as Governor Shapiro and I are privileged to serve the good people of Pennsylvania. So congratulations, and I'd like to invite the awardees up. I have some proclamations for them and would like to grab a quick picture. If Attorney General Sunday and Secretary Arkush would join me for the photo, it would be wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. It's a pleasure to have you here today. Next, we'd like to hear from our Attorney General. Please welcome Dave Sunday.
Thank you, sir. Good morning. It's great to see everyone here today. I am honored to speak with every single one of you, and I understand the importance of protecting kids, and I admire you all for the work that you do every single day. Like many of you, I've spent my entire career standing up for the most vulnerable members of our communities. It is my great honor to stand here with you today in one of the most important jobs that we as a society have, and that's protecting children. I want to give special thanks to Angela Little, CEO of the Pennsylvania Family Support Alliance, for bringing us together here today to raise awareness for child abuse, how to intervene and prevent it, and to honor those receiving Blue Ribbon Awards. I'd like to congratulate all the honorees and applaud you for the work you continue to do to keep our children safe. We all share a common mission, and that is to protect children and support survivors. That's work that we are all united in. While my work, formerly as a district attorney and now as the Attorney General, involves holding offenders accountable, I never lose focus on the fact that these crimes have a devastating impact on survivors, and that's trauma that can last many, many years. After the charges are done, if there are any, after the jury trial is finished, and after there may be a verdict, the devastating trauma remains. And many of you have dedicated your lives to helping victims understand that they are not defined by the actions of others. And I thank you. Never give up. This work, although challenging and difficult, is way too important. Conversations about child abuse are difficult as well, but those conversations serve a great purpose. They bring this conduct out of the shadows. The more we talk about it, the more likely that we are as a society to recognize it, to speak up about it, and to report it, to take action on behalf of the children that are being harmed. Regarding the work of the Attorney General's office, let me provide a brief overview of what some of the things we're doing right now. My office administers the Safe to Say Something program The program was launched in 2019 for schools, students, and community members to report anonymously concerning behaviors such as bullying and acts of violence. My office provides training to schools on the proper use of the program. The Office of the Attorney General staff also intakes the tips and takes in the reports. We vet those tips and reports, and then we push them out to the proper school and law enforcement officials. This program is expanding. We're getting more tips than we ever did before. This school year alone, we've seen a 44% increase, in tips since last year. We intake thousands of tips every month. Since the launch in 2019, we've had over 150,000 tips. Many of the tips come from fellow students who are worried about their peers' safety, whether it's a student who overheard a troubling conversation or saw something alarming on social media. Safe to say, has become a powerful tool in stopping instances of violence and bullying and promoting the mental health and welfare of our young people. These tips have saved lives. Tips received by the Safe to Say program have saved lives. Police have recovered dozens of guns and knives as a result of the Safe to Say program and tips that they received. Those weapons could have been used in acts of violence, and because of this initiative, because of this program, they were not. I encourage everyone to have a conversation with their families about this valuable resource. Similar to the Lieutenant Governor, the most important job in my world is that of dad. And my son's 10. And so, I don't know where he went, but he is, as the Lieutenant Governor, but he's got a long way to go till he gets to 10 years. And I promise you, even though it goes by quick, I wake up every day and I go to bed every night frightened about the world my son has to grow up in. And so to know that there are tools available for parents to use, and I'm sure that there'll be many, many more. We have a lot of creative, wonderful people working on these initiatives. It's really the most important thing that we do. Something else I want to mention briefly, and this may surprise you, I'm sure many of you understand that there are police canines for drugs and for explosives, but the AG's office actually has a canine. The name is Emery. Emery can detect electronic storage devices. And so these devices have been found to possess child sexual abuse materials in multiple child abuse investigations. And that is something that's really important to understand, that this tool is available. These are not just victimless crimes. They're not just pictures or videos. These are vile materials that have destroyed people's lives and are unbelievably harming and dangerous to children. We have an extremely proactive child predator unit in the Attorney General's office, where we aggressively investigate and prosecute child predators every single day. In particular, child predators that are creating, sharing, and possessing child sexual abuse materials. Our canine Emery is very impactful in a lot of those investigations. So to any law enforcement in this room, know that this resource is available, and if this is something you want to utilize in any of your investigations, don't hesitate to reach out to the Office of Attorney General, and we're here to support you in your mission. A big part of what we do is prosecuting offenders, but we have seen plenty of very long state prison sentences for individuals who have acted as predators and went after our children. So with that being said, these cases involve terrible stories, horrible crimes. A lot of them are gut-wrenching, and in many cases, trauma can last a lifetime. That's why it is absolutely critical that we do everything we can to intervene before any crime occurs, before a crime is committed, so that we can do everything we can to interrupt a cycle of abuse. The sooner we rescue kids, the sooner that they can be on their path to recovery. I said this earlier, and I want to say it again. It is unbelievably important for victims to know that they are not defined by one instance or an instance in their life that someone else did to them. There are so many amazing people in our community that have done wonderful, amazing things, that back in their life, something happened to them. And they are so important, and it's so important that we do everything we can to help them. None of us here work in a vacuum. And I hope that events like this prompt citizens who are professionals in the field to speak and take action, to prompt parents, to prompt loved ones and friends to do the same thing. I cannot say this enough, and I can't say it more, but we all have to and are working together. It is an absolute honor to be here with every single one of you. Thank you for the work that you do. Thank you for those of you that have had the strength to work through unbelievably difficult sets of circumstances. And as a society, this is one of the most critical missions that we could possibly have in our lives. And so to that point, it's an honor to be here. I thank everyone that received an award. And I want to say that I look forward to collaboratively working with every single one of you to do everything we can to keep our children safe. So have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sunday. We join together today under this magnificent dome to celebrate the joy, the promising futures, and impressive talent of our beloved children all across this great Commonwealth. They are true blessings in our lives and Pennsylvania's most precious resource. We owe it to our children, our grandchildren, and their children to do everything within our power to make sure that their childhoods are happy, because childhood really should last a lifetime. I'm excited to hear our school students share their musical talents today. So please welcome the Harrisburg Academy Upper School Chorus under the direction of David Shover.
When you're tired and troubled and you have lost your way, don't let hard times lead you astray.
Though you may be weary, just know you're not
Once again, let's hear it for the Harrisburg Academy Upper School Chorus. This year's award ceremony is being held in partnership with the Pennsylvania Department of Human Services. At this time, I would like to welcome DHS Secretary Dr. Valerie Arkush to the podium.
Good morning, everybody. I have some encumbrances that I'm not used to, so I want to thank Laval for his help and everyone and Angela for making sure I could get here and join you this morning. It's an honor to be here with all of you. Very happy to be here with the Lieutenant Governor, with our Attorney General, and Dave, thank you for the introduction. Throughout my career, I've had the privilege to witness the passion and the commitment of those who work to keep kids safe through many different perspectives. As a physician, as a public health expert, as a county commissioner overseeing child welfare, and now as secretary of the Pennsylvania Department of Human Services. I'm also extremely fortunate to be a parent myself. And like many others, and like you've already heard this morning, being a parent just changes you fundamentally. There's really no going back. I deeply understand how hard a parent will work and the lengths that a parent will go to keep your kids safe and to make sure they have everything they need and more to grow up healthy and happy and be able to thrive. But being a parent is not easy. And I've seen firsthand, especially through some of the patients that I've treated over the years and in my work in public service, how the economic and social circumstances in which we live can put families and children in situations where resources are strained, where stress is high, and meeting essential needs on their own is sometimes difficult or impossible for parents. When we enable strong, comprehensive community supports and the vital resources a family may need every day, things like healthy food, access to health care, safe housing, parenting education and supports, and that necessary sense of community, that feeling that you're not alone, we help build bridges to success for families, parents, and children. Protecting children starts with supporting families. Too often, situations of potential abuse and neglect start with families having difficulty meeting those core essential needs. The Department of Human Services works every day to help meet these needs. And I want to remind folks that just about 1 in 4 Pennsylvanians, 23% of Pennsylvanians, gets their health care through Medicaid. That is 3 million of our friends and neighbors. And of that 3 million, 1.3 million are children. That is 40% of the children in our Commonwealth get their health care through Medicaid. And 1/3 of births in Pennsylvania are covered through Medicaid. About 40% of the nearly 2 million Pennsylvanians covered by SNAP, our food assistance program, are children. 40%. That's more than 763,000 children that we protect every month through vital, federally funded food assistance. I raise these numbers and reminders to you today because, frankly, these programs are under some threat. And it is going to be incredibly important for all of us to make sure that policymakers in Washington, D.C. understand what cuts to these programs could mean for our Pennsylvania families. The Shapiro administration is committed to working across systems and levels of government to break down the barriers standing between the families we serve and their health and well-being and strengthen this system so families and children are supported and empowered by the systems that exist to help them. While we celebrate the champions for safe kids here today, and of course across our Commonwealth every single day, we also know there is more work to be done. This is why the Department of Human Services and partners at the state and local levels will be actively working together over the coming months to examine our child welfare and family serving systems to better understand what's working, Where is more support needed? And what can we do to maximize prevention of abuse and neglect? And what legislative and structural revisions are needed to better position all levels of this work for success and to make sure that we're helping as many people as we possibly can? We are eager to work with our partners in the courts, on the ground in our counties, and the General Assembly to modernize and strengthen this system for parents and children, looking upstream to prevent unnecessary child welfare involvement or delays in support that come when parents don't have that partnership system that enables safety and stability for their family. No family needs to go through life alone, and that extra hand and that sense of community in accessing services or navigating systems of care can make all the difference in the world to help a family get to that feeling of stability that they need. That support can be transformative and result in better circumstances for that entire family and make sure that child has a lifetime of childhood happiness. As we gather here today to recognize Child Abuse Prevention Month and celebrate our 2025 Blue Ribbon Champions, I hope that the too many names and lives that we honor today and the too many flags that are planted right outside that door, that those images stick with us and they serve as an inspiration and motivation for all of us to do more every month of the year. This is not a one-month event, folks. This is an everyday, 365, 24/7 effort that we all need to commit to be part of. Our 2025 Blue Ribbon Champions embody that goal. Tyler Smay of Cambria County, Haley Hauk of Lawrence County, Lakeisha Berry of Philadelphia County, and Joanne Godfrey of York County are examples of how the commitment and the strategy to keeping kids safe takes different forms, and it comes from different perspectives. But each of you contributes to the goal of helping families and children thrive. So thank you for all that you do every single day. Each of you are a testament to something that we must all remember. Protecting children and supporting families is a shared responsibility and must be a common commitment. I also want to thank Angela and the PA Family Support Alliance for your service to Pennsylvania's children and families. You have partnered with not only the Department of Human Services, but our county offices of children and youth, our community-based agencies serving families, and our schools for more than 40 years. Your work empowers so many to be an active partner for families and an advocate and voice for children. So thank you for everything that you do to build a better, safer future for families and children in the Commonwealth. And before I go, I do want to take a moment to recognize the work of our county child welfare teams who are absolutely at the heart of this work. I know this very personally from 8 years as a county commissioner, and now I see it Commonwealth-wide as Secretary of the Department of Human Services. Caseworkers in every county in the Commonwealth are on the front lines every single day. They do the really hard work. They walk into unbelievably difficult situations. They do it 24/7. They did it every day during COVID, even when we didn't have PPE to protect them. We can never forget that these folks are on the front line. In my heart and mind, they are some of our finest first responders, even though if we don't technically treat them that way. And we can never forget that. So my thanks to all of you. Without their work, more children and families would be at risk. Our commitment to strengthening this system includes each of you as well. You've chosen to serve your community, and we must return this commitment to each of you by giving you the tools that you need to help your communities, uplift your families, and keep the kids in your counties safe. Our children need and deserve no less from us, and we must never lose sight of the better future that we can contribute to every day. So again, thank all of you for being here. Congratulations to the award winners, and know that I share in your commitment to never let up until we make this a better and safer place for our kids. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Pennsylvania Family Support Alliance is the state leader in child abuse prevention and child protection. PFSA provides prevention programs and services to help moms, dads, and anyone guiding a child through childhood with their toughest and most important job, parenting. PFSA also trains mandated reporters how to properly recognize and report child abuse and teaches community members how to offer support to families and safely intervene when a child in their midst is not safe. The PFSA team, under the leadership of President and CEO Angela Little, created today's award ceremony to bring us all together, to pause from our busyness, and to honor those children who sadly were not nurtured and not protected, those children who did not have heroes. This event is the kickoff to Child Abuse Prevention Month, and PFSA is calling upon us to raise our unified voice of commitment to be heroes to Pennsylvania's children. Please welcome PFSA's President and CEO, Angela Little.
Good morning. On behalf of the Pennsylvania Department of Human Services, the board, and the staff of PFSA, and all of the children in the Commonwealth, it is my great pleasure to welcome you today to our kickoff of Child Abuse Prevention Month and the celebration of our 2025 Blue Ribbon Champions for Safe Kids Award winners. Each year, it's so very heartwarming to see so many familiar faces, people with whom we have worked for decades to help families and children across Pennsylvania. And each year, we also gladly welcome new faces and friends to our efforts. Thank you to those of you who bundled up this morning and braved what was a little bit more than chilly to plant 4,720 blue flags from Front Street to the steps of this great Capitol. One flag for each child harmed in 2023. And of course, sadly, the 57 black flags representing those children who are no longer in our midst. It's so important for us to remember they are not numbers, they're children, and each one of them is our why for today and tomorrow and the day after. We want to especially thank some folks this morning, David Payne and WITF, for the generous donation of your time and your extraordinary talent. I feel like your singing voice was like the bonus ad. So thank you for that. And a very large thank you to the students and the music director, David Shover from Harrisburg Academy. Your talent's strong, and we're grateful for your participation. Anyone connected to a school knows that springtime is especially busy, so we're very, very appreciative that you could fit this event in with additional practice and planning. To those who helped share the message of child abuse prevention and help PFSA push out our messaging to each corner of the state and every community in between, we're grateful for your partnership with us. To Bitsy McCain with Bitsy Plus Design, Thomas Casey with Seisler Media and Advocacy Issues, we're very, very grateful. And we thank Lamar Advertising this morning for their donation of billboards to celebrate this year's Blue Ribbon Champions for Safe Kids Award winners. The billboards went up this morning, so please be on the lookout as you drive throughout your communities. And of course, I would be remiss if not to say hearty congratulations to Andy Rebuck from Lamar Advertising on his retirement last week. We will miss working with him. We're grateful to the Pennsylvania Children and Youth Administrators Association and the 47 county agencies throughout the state that will now hold their very own blue flag planting. I believe Dauphin County was the trendsetter for that, and we're so pleased to see all the additional offices and counties that have come on board. They have indeed, as Secretary Arkush said, very, very challenging jobs. They get all the judgments, very little thanks. And so from the team at PFSA, know that we always stand in support of the county offices and appreciate every single day the way they go to work and they go into homes without the protection of weapons and that's where law enforcement would go with protection of weapons. They go into homes and they do jobs that few of us would ever want to do. And they do it because they care so deeply about children. We're pleased to welcome today members of the General Assembly. Today is a session day, so you'll see the Capitol's especially busy. And of course, we could not be more pleased to have our newest Attorney General, Dave Sunday from York County, and our Lieutenant Governor, Austin Davis, who last year did just a tremendous video for PFSA, and we may see something like that throughout the month of April as well this year. If you can stay for photos immediately following the ceremony, we'll be very, very pleased for you to do so. And of course, without any pause or hesitation, we say a special, special thank you to Secretary Arkush and Deputy Secretary Laval Miller-Wilson. These folks show up day in and day out. They're always where they most need to be. And I dare say we're all incredibly grateful for your leadership and the kind way in which you represent the Commonwealth and the families and children for whom we all work. Our partnership actually spans 47 years. So I think that's almost unprecedented. And so regardless of administration, PFSA has been incredibly blessed to work with Pennsylvania's leadership. And certainly last but not least, I want to thank the staff and the governing board of PFSA who work all year long on behalf of our children. Today you will see several PFSA board members who will be participating in the Memorial for Lost Children. Thank you so much for doing that. And now I'd like to introduce Mark Holman. He is recently retired from Susquehanna Township School District as the Director of HR, and he is a never-to-retire accomplished musician, and he's an outstanding member of PFSA's governing board. So Mark, thank you for coming and offering a prayer for children.
Very good. Good morning. We Pray for Children by Ina Jones. We pray for children who put chocolate fingers everywhere, who like to be tickled, who stomp in puddles and ruin their new pants, who sneak popsicles for supper, who can never find their shoes. We pray for those who stare at photographers from behind barbed wire, who can bound down the street in a new pair of sneakers, who never counted potatoes, who were born in places we wouldn't be caught dead in, who never go to the circus, who live in an X-rated world. We pray for children who bring us sticky kisses and fistful of dandelions, who sleep with the dog and bury goldfish, who hug us in a hurry and forget their lunch money, who cover themselves in Band-Aids and sing off key, who sneeze toothpaste all over the sink, who slurp their soup. And we pray for those who never get dessert, who have no safe blanket to drag behind them, who watch their parents watch them die, who can't find any bread to steal, who don't have rooms to clean up, whose pictures aren't on anyone's dresser. We pray for children who spend all their allowance before Tuesday, who throw tantrums in the grocery store and pick at their food, who like ghost stories, who shove dirty clothes under the bed and never rinse out the tub, who get visits from the tooth fairy, who don't like to be kissed in front of the carpool, who squirm in church and scream on the phone, whose tears we sometimes laugh at and whose smiles can make us cry. We pray for those whose nightmares come in the daytime, who will eat anything, who have never seen a dentist, who aren't spoiled by anybody, who go to bed hungry and cry themselves to sleep, who leave and move and have no being. We pray for children who want to be carried, and for those who must, for those we never give up, and for those who don't get a second chance, for those we smother, and for those who will grab the hand of anyone kind enough to offer it. We pray for children.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Angela. We invite you once again to enjoy this musical selection from the Harrisburg Academy Upper School Chorus.
I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most to grow if we let them, and we help them in return. Well, I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I'm who I am today because I knew you. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes a sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, I have been changed for good. It well may be that we will never meet again in this lifetime, so let me say before we part, so much of me is made of what I learned from you. You'll be with me like a handprint on my heart, and whatever way that our stories end, I know you have rewritten mine by being my friend. Like a ship blown from its mooring by a wind off the sea, like a seed dropped by a skybird in a distant wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, because I knew you, I have been changed for good. Just to clear the air, I ask forgiveness for the things I've done you blame me for. But then I guess we know there's blame to share, and none of it seems to matter anymore. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? I do believe I have been changed for the better. And because I knew you, because I knew you, because I knew you, I have been changed for good.
Thank you very much, students. Today, we are blessed to have people who are acting and working to support the welfare of our children. In a moment, we will recognize the heroes among us who stand up for our children. PFSA sought nominations from across the state and received a tremendous response. As a matter of fact, some award winners received more than one nomination. An independent blue ribbon panel evaluated the nominations and chose 4 champions to receive a PA Blue Ribbon Champion for Safe Kids award. At this time, I invite Angela to join me as we present awards to this year's winners. Our first Blue Ribbon Champion for Safe Kids awardee is Lakeisha Berry. Lakeisha is Director of Prevention and Family Support Services at Belmont Charter Network School in Philadelphia, my hometown. Berry, as she is called by colleagues, works tirelessly each day to educate and support students, parents, and the community at large. She teaches students essential social, emotional skills, recognizing the signs of abuse and healthy boundaries. She hosts monthly family forums, shining a spotlight on child abuse and resources to prevent child maltreatment. Home visits are routine in her work, as well as attending medical appointments. These things help her form a positive rapport and strong connection with families. Berry pays attention to what students and families need and works to remove barriers and addresses the core needs. She often assists with getting school supplies, uniforms, and grocery cards, concrete supports that lessen financial burdens and decrease stress within families. While she has made positive impacts on countless families, one recent family is worthy of mention. Berry noticed a change in one mother's behavior as she began arriving at school intoxicated with her child. While there was no prior history of abuse, Berry noticed changes in the child's behavior and appearance. She spoke with the siblings and learned of a very tense home environment. Berry successfully navigated a comprehensive needs assessment for the family, secured alcohol dependency services for mom, and a variety of resources for dad. Today, the children are thriving both academically and socially, and their mother has successfully completed rehab. The work that Berry and others do every day is very stressful. In the first few months of the school year, 3 alumni from our schools lost their lives due to violence. Berry has also supported 2 parents with terminal illness in helping them explain their medical condition to their children. Berry goes above and beyond despite obstacles along the way to do the right thing for students, for parents, and for community. We proudly salute Lakeisha Berry as the 2025 PA Blue Ribbon Champion for Safe Kids Award winner.
This here. There we go. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. As you can tell, I'm super nervous. I want to express my heartfelt gratitude and appreciation for the opportunity to be recognized today and throughout the month of April. This celebration means more to me than I can accurately describe in this moment, and I truly do not have the words to articulate its remarkable impact. I have enjoyed a decades-long partnership with PFSA through professional development initiatives, such as the Mandated Reporter Trainer Program, the ACT Raising Safe Kids Parenting Program, and the annual symposium. I have benefited tremendously from learning, growing, and networking in these shared spaces. Over the years, my role as a social worker at Belmont Charter Network has allowed me to showcase courage, humility, passion, humor, and integrity in my countless efforts to improve outcomes for our most vulnerable students and marginalized families. Through developing awareness and reflection, validating experiences, building capacities, meaningful connections, authentic relationships, empathetic accountability, fostering change, and creating community, we hope that our families are able to reimagine the world in which they live and we encourage our students to pursue their dreams relentlessly. We inspire them to be resilient, creative, joyful, compassionate, tenacious, resourceful, and spirited, because they are our most valuable asset, and it continues to be a privilege to work alongside them and on their behalf. There is something especially powerful about bearing witness to their collective evolution and significant value in being an integral part of their individual healing and restorative journey. Although this work can be daunting, confusing, frustrating, stressful, and even traumatic at times, it continues to be rewarding, purposeful, and undoubtedly one of the best decisions I've ever made. I have found a professional mission that closely aligns with my personal values, interests, and goals, which is a rarity in this day and age. I want to share a quote that resonates with me. It represents my view of living a worthwhile life, and it reflects my intentional approach to social work. It's staggering how many people fail to grasp the truth. This life, this single, fleeting, magnificent journey is all we get. No second chances, no rewind. If this isn't the life that you want, stop and walk away. Burn the path behind you if you must. Change course again and again and again, as many times as it takes until you're living a life that sets your soul on fire. Anything less is a betrayal of the gift that you've been given. I continue to be motivated, inspired, and enamored. I love the work. I love who I get to do it with, and most importantly, I love who I get to do it for. And this award is the ultimate reminder. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. We're excited to announce our second PA Blue Ribbon Champion for Safe Kids honoree, Haley Hauk. Haley is a detective for the Newcastle Police Department. While assigned to the patrol unit of the Newcastle Police Department, Officer Hauk voluntarily took on multiple child abuse investigations in addition to her routine work as a patrol officer. She was recently promoted to the Detective Bureau and continues to go above and beyond the call of duty to protect children and arrest perpetrators who harm them. She's broken down doors to reach children during instances of domestic violence and when families don't show up for forensic interviews. When that happens, Detective Hauk goes to the home, wakes up the parents, and gets the children to the interview. Due to Detective Hauk's concern for two children, she pushed for their forensic interviews to be moved to an earlier date. As a result, the children were removed from the abusive situation and an arrest was made, thereby sparking the children from an additional week of ongoing sexual abuse. She has filed charges in 16 child abuse cases in 2024, and due to her excellent interrogation skills, she has received confessions from many of the defendants, greatly reducing the likelihood that the child will be required to testify in court. Detective Hauk, it is our honor to award you today the 2025 Blue Ribbon Champion for Safe Kids.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting us as award winners. Throughout my career so far, I've learned just how much dedication you need to investigate these crimes. The time and effort we invest significantly shapes the rest of these children's lives well into their adulthood. As law enforcement, victim advocates, case workers, forensic interviews, therapists, and many other essential professional resources, we have the power to positively influence their healing journey and gain their trust as a support system. Many of these children don't have support systems, and we are all they have. We're their only hope. I realize that unless we take these cases personally and understand that our work directly impacts the quality of these children's lives, we will not make progress. I do want to thank my family and friends at the Children's Advocacy Center, Lawrence County, for being here for me. I know that supporting me has not always been the easiest because this career is an emotional roller coaster. I would like to make a a small shout out to forensic interviewer Jan Wilson. She just retired on Friday. She served with the Children's Advocacy Center for 16 years. Prior to that, she served a full career with the Pennsylvania State Police. Jan, our friendship has been amazing. I'm so happy that I got to work with you for a couple years. 2024 was definitely a successful year for prosecution for child crimes, and there's more work to do, and I hope I improve every year. Thank you.
We are delighted to announce our third PA Blue Ribbon Champion for Safe Kids, Tyler Smay. Tyler serves as the court-appointed special advocate, program director for the Laurel Highlands, serving Cambria and Somerset counties. For nearly a decade, Tyler has worked tirelessly to support children throughout his role with CASA. He actually spearheaded the revitalization of the program, helping CASA of the Laurel Highlands achieve one of the highest volunteer retention rates in the PA CASA network. Under his leadership, an extraordinary 95% of CASA volunteers have remained with the program for 5 years, allowing for sustained in-depth advocacy, which is critical for preventing child abuse. Tyler's commitment extends deeply to every child's experience within the CASA program. He attends all court proceedings alongside CASA volunteers, guides volunteers through training and supporting their work on court reports to make certain of the best possible outcome for each child. Tyler has organized a donation drive for a CASA family in need after they were locked out of their home just weeks before Christmas. The family had a joy-filled holiday, and a fresh start as well. He has advocated for a sibling group of 9, recognizing their urgent need for a CASA representative, and he has personally taken on CASA cases to ensure as many children as possible benefit from having an advocate. In one instance, he stepped in as a CASA volunteer for one of the program's most complex cases, supporting children with severe developmental delays and special needs, combined with a history of physical and sexual abuse. His work also extends throughout the community as he works to promote the program and educate community members on child abuse prevention. He's developed and launched an impactful community-wide educational campaign through local churches. Additionally, Tyler serves as vice chair for Stackhouse Park, a 277-acre nature park where he works to ensure the park remains a treasured resource for generations to come. He manages the park's website and social media and assists with over 20 family programs annually. More than 1,000 children participated in Stackhouse Park programs he helped organize in 2024 alone. Tyler, you're one busy guy, and we proudly salute you as a 2025 PA Blue Ribbon Champion for Safe Kids Award winner.
Good morning, Pennsylvania. I'll say, just like Lakeisha ahead of me, I am super nervous. But I'll also say, anybody that knows me knows I'm a man of few words, especially when those words have anything to do with me. So of course I'm struggling a little bit with what to say here this morning and express how I really feel about this award and this honor. I will say being here this morning is a beautiful full circle moment for me. 6 years ago, I stood in this same rotunda for this same ceremony when one of my CASA volunteers at CASA Laurel Highlands received this exact same honor. It's a volunteer I'm still working with today. I think I have a court report in my inbox from him right now. At the time, I thought that might be the highest honor for a CASA volunteer in the Commonwealth, and I think there's a part of me that still feels the same way. Nonetheless, I'm still incredibly honored to be back here today to, in a way, represent CASA across the Commonwealth. Especially for someone like me, who I still see myself as a behind-the-scenes individual kind of really supporting and helping the real movers and shakers, but apparently I'm a very busy guy. But I will just say, if you're here today as a coworker or colleague, whether past or present, a CASA staff member or a volunteer, an elected official who supports our mission, or anybody else who supports CASA anywhere in Pennsylvania, you're a key piece to this honor as well, and I hope you all know that. I couldn't have done it without any of you. Together, we have all worked to change a child's story. Thank you.
I'm going to ask Angela Little to step over and be for our final Blue Ribbon Champion for Safe Kids Award winner.
Our fourth and final 2025 Blue Ribbon Champion for Safe Kids Award winner is Joanne Godfrey from York County. Joanne's unexpected career in family support and child abuse prevention began in 1988 when she became a volunteer at the Lehman Center, Pennsylvania's first licensed crisis nursery, a premier child abuse prevention center and program of Children's Aid Society, Southern Pennsylvania District Church of the Brethren. By 1989, she was on staff as a family advocate, though I suspect maybe back then her title was a little different, and it's probably had different upgrades and changes to the title since then. She will retire from that role and the agency in just a few months. It's estimated that over the span of her career, she's worked with more than 3,500 families in York County alone. This year, we had more nominations for the Blue Ribbon Champion for Safe Kids Award than any year prior. And we also had more winners have multiple nominations. I, of course, never see those. And I only learn of the winners through staff after the judges have done the review and scored the nominations. When a team member, Justin, was announcing the winners to staff, he said, and we have a winner from York County. It's kind of interesting. She also received several nominations. And I just knew. And I said, let me guess, Joanne Godfrey. And of course, here we are today. Those who nominated Joanne spoke of her tireless advocacy, the long hours she's worked, and how she's empowered parents to overcome their situations. Now, I have to tell you, after more than 30 years of work in this field, I still have no clue what an empowered person looks like. I have no idea. But I do know what Joanne's done for families. When children and parents were hungry, she fed them. When children and their parents needed clothing, she clothed them. When babies needed rocked, she cradled them. When the crisis nursery needed coverage, she stayed, she didn't go home. When parents needed transportation, she drove them. And when parents needed someone to help them be hopeful, she told them that this time in life is only a chapter. It's not their whole story, and change can come. Sometimes she helped raise funds necessary to cover the need, but many times she reached into her own pocket and she freely gave. And here's what she did for the Lehman Center. If groceries needed picked up and hauled up a very large flight of stairs to the kitchen, Joanne made sure it happened. If something was dirty, she picked up a rag or a vacuum and she cleaned it. The first at a fundraiser to roll up her sleeves and work really hard, and the last one to leave when it's over. She encouraged and supported more coworkers and at times administrators than can be counted. And she looked out for the financial health of the Lehman Center and Children's Aid Society, always above her own self-interest. And here's what Joanne did for me when I was her supervisor in the early 1990s. Without ever realizing it, she taught me my first real lesson in supporting families. I think maybe it was 1992, and a mom called the Lehman Center crying, saying she had lost her temper with her little girl and didn't know what to do. She agreed to come into the crisis nursery, and somehow she ended up in my office. The mom was sobbing, her hands were trembling, and the cutest little blonde-haired, blue-eyed 3-year-old clung to her for dear life. And I'm betting you don't remember this. When the little girl lifted her head from her mother's chest, you could trace a perfect outline of the mom's hand on the little girl's cheek. And for the life of me, I cannot tell you what I said to that mom, but I know for certain that inside, I was not an advocate. I was not. I remember thinking, how could you? I remember being appalled. I had never seen something like that before. And here's the thing. When a staff member has a how could you thought, most of the time parents know the lurking judgments that are behind that. They know. And thankfully, Joanne walked in my office and started talking to the little girl. And she said, how about we go next door and see if we can find you some lunch and maybe some toys? Does that sound okay? And then she smiled at the mom and she said, come on, you can carry her if you want. Let's go get things settled. And the mom said, settled? I don't even know which end is up. And she started crying all over again. And in only Joe's style, she smiled and said, that's okay, I don't know most days which ends up. And with that, the woman stopped crying, and off they went. Now, do you remember this? No. It was family number 3,212. I've never forgotten that day. I never forgot that mom. I never forgot that little girl, and the lesson that Joanne taught me about supporting a family. When they were hungry, she fed them. When they needed a tissue, she gave them one. And she did so void of judgment, with absolutely no condemnation. In the years, actually decades since that morning, I wish I had a quarter for every single media interview where I was asked how parents can be such monsters. Almost every year, I'd go toe-to-toe with Scott Lamar on his show when he'd say, I just don't understand. How can parents do this? Doesn't this make you angry? And here's the answer I learned because of Joanne that morning. I always say, being harsh and judgmental towards someone has never changed behavior. And it certainly does not make better parents, and it doesn't make parents better. Most of us can point to times in our lives when we have done things we never thought we would do. And so more than 3,500 families have been fortunate enough to have Joanne in their corner, if even for a brief period of time, hoping and cheering them on for the best. And the audience today are current staff members of the Lehman Center, Children's Aid Society, and former staff members and co-workers who worked with Joanne 35 years ago. Her mom, Ruth, her sister, Jeannie, her cousin, Ann, all extraordinary volunteers for the Lehman Center. So please join me in honoring our final 2025 Blue Ribbon Champion for Safe Kids, Joanne Godfrey.
Thank you, Angela, for those kind words, and to Family Support Alliance for everything they've done to make today happen. I want to just say ditto to everything that the other recipients have said, and if you've worked in a nonprofit social service agency for over 37 years, you better have a good support system. And God has blessed me with a great support system, including my mom, who is 93 and wanted to be here today, family and friends, and coworkers that past coworkers, present coworkers, and I have to give a shout out to Janelle Swartz, who has put up with me for over 25 years. And I've learned so much from her, and she's been a great support. In the years that I've worked as a family advocate, I've seen many families, as you know, and I know that our services have had a positive effect on not just children, but parents as well. Whether it was the crisis nursery, or whether it was parent support group, or the advocate program that we provide. I would just say the challenge is before us right now. Everyone here will go home, will get in your car, will go to your home, get in bed, have your favorite pillow, have food on your table, have clothing on your back. Just remember that not everybody has that. And the challenge is to give of your blessings, of your resources to those who are less fortunate. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Clearly, we are in the presence of some extraordinary child advocates today. Can we just have one more round of applause for all of our honorees today? Thank you so much for all your good work. At this time, let's once again welcome the Harrisburg Academy Upper School Chorus for another musical selection.
believe in the sun, even when it is not shining. And I believe in love, even when there's no one there. But I believe in God, even when He is silent. I believe through any trial, there is always a way. May there someday be sunshine. May there someday be happiness. May there someday be love. May there someday be peace.
Outside of the steps, you will find thousands of blue ribbon flags, 4,720 to be exact. Each one represents a child harmed by abuse in Pennsylvania in 1 year. And of course, the memorial garden of 57 black flags planted on State Street that represent each child killed due to abuse or neglect in our Commonwealth in 1 year. 57 children lost forever. Think about that. Lives gone, birthdays never celebrated, future dreams never realized. We must never forget them. And today, we honor them. In your ceremony program, you will find the details about each child who died in 2023, most at the hands of an adult who was supposed to be their protector. I now invite members of PFSA's Board of Directors to come forward to lead our memorial to these 57 children forever gone from our communities.
Each candle symbolizes a child who tragically died within a year as a result of abuse. 57 lives tragically lost. Today, we shine a light for each child. We're going to ask Briella Evans to join us to help place the candles on the risers as we remember each of these children. 12-year-old female, Lancaster County. 5-year-old female, Allegheny County. 3-year-old male, Lancaster County. 2-year-old female, Philadelphia County. 23-month-old male, Lawrence County. 1-month-old female, Northumberland County. 7-month-old female, Allegheny County. 2-year-old male, Berks County. 4-month-old female, Beaver County. 13-year-old male, Philadelphia County. 1-month-old male, Bedford County. 14-month-old male, Washington County. 11-month-old male, Berks County. 4-month-old male, Lehigh County.
Three-year-old male, Philadelphia County. 5-year-old male, Lancaster County. 4-month-old male, Bucks County. 5-year-old female, Cambria County. 3-month-old female, Westmoreland County. 4-year-old male, Chester County. 8-month-old male, York County. 8-month-old female, Philadelphia County. 2-year-old female, Huntington County. 13-month-old female, Cumberland County. 9-month-old female, Dauphin County. 11-month-old male, Allegheny County. 5-year-old male, Lackawanna County. 1-month-old female, Lancaster County.
Two-year-old male, Beaver County. 3-year-old female, Philadelphia County. 5-day-old male, Allegheny County. 2-year-old female, Lawrence County. Less than 1 day, female, Lycoming County. 9-year-old male, Monroe County. 4-year-old male, Lancaster County. 11-year-old male, Montgomery County. 3-week-old male, Allegheny County. 2-month-old male, Northampton County. 2-year-old female, Philadelphia County. 8-day-old male, Adams County. 12-month-old male, Allegheny County. 7-month-old female, Northumberland County. 3-month-old male, Beaver County.
"17-month-old male, Philadelphia County. 11-month-old female, Allegheny County. 8-year-old male, Bucks County. 19-month-old female, Washington County. 8-year-old male, Chester County. 3-month-old male, Wayne County. 6-year-old male, Montgomery County. 5-year-old male, Westmoreland County. 5-month-old male, Cumberland County. 17-year-old male, York County. 15-month-old male, Delaware County. 3-month-old female, Lancaster County. 11-month-old male, Philadelphia County. 4-month-old male, Allegheny County.
What a powerful and sobering reminder of the toll child abuse can and does take. But we must remember that child abuse and neglect are preventable. We can make sure our children realize birthdays and childhood dreams if we all do our part. Each of us may have a different role: educator, trainer, policymaker, family support facilitator, law enforcement officer, or community member. But we all do have a role to play in keeping Pennsylvania's children safe from harm. At this time, we'd like to welcome once again the Harrisburg Academy Upper School Chorus to lead "Lean on Me." You can sing along if you like. Lyrics can be found on page 10 of your ceremony program. That song was written more than 50 years ago. Of course, texting will help too, right? As we depart from this powerful ceremony today, please take time to look at the flags on State Street and to hold to your heart what they truly mean. Thanks to everyone who joined us today. Please continue to be champions for safe kids by visiting our website, pafsa.org. And we also thank the PA Dairymen's Association for serving their fabulous and famous milkshakes today. They are located just outside the Capitol steps. You can redeem your voucher for a free milkshake. We now invite all our dignitaries and award winners to remain at the podium for pictures. Thank you all for being here today. What a beautiful ceremony, and thank you for helping to take part.